I didn't know you put it up here.
Yeah, you did. We was
Oh.
dancing backstage the whole time. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Palmer the Cats Live. What's up, Chatty Waddy?
What's up, man? What's up?
We're almost twins.
Yeah, I know. I saw your hat and I was like, I don't know where I almost had one that matched that one. We could have been totally
I got the
twins.
black and the white classic with the raised PVC lettering.
We got the beautiful Kentucky blue and gray.
Can turkey?
Go big blue.
You can turkey or you can't turkey.
Oh
What's
my
up,
God.
Mike Sampson, Northern View, Jersey, in the house. Catfish with us in the house. John Boys, Fields to Water. Let's see. Smoky Mountain catfishing, and my dog saying hello. Yep, hello.
Hello.
Rigging for Fatties, Chris Rombach, and Troublemaker already starting trouble.
Yep. Drama.
Yep. Always drama, always. Well, listen, guys, we are here for a specific reason, and we will wait just a few minutes to get into the details of everything. But tonight is about, well, there's Muskrat. Tonight is about explaining and answering questions about the league, 2025 league. And my dog's gonna drive me crazy. I can't think if you keep barking. She was, don't get smart with me. I heard that change of tone. Clint Perry's in the house. Hillbilly Moonshiners, what's going on? But Chad and I and Brian, if he can stop being lazy, might pop up here.
Good luck with that one.
Catfish Cowboy, what's up? So before we get cranked up, I just want to let everybody know that we are days away from the deadline to sign up. And even though we have 26 teams that have made interest in federal registration forms, we only have 21 that have paid. So if you slip in there and get yours paid, I mean, it's first come, first serve. So if you've been thinking about it, maybe you've been waiting for something like this to get into it. And, maybe hopefully we can answer your questions. How's your day, man?
It was A-okay. I didn't get fired.
Hey, that's always good.
From work. So I mean, tomorrow's Friday. You know they like to do that on Friday. So there's
They
always one day
do.
left.
Yeah. They don't want you to do anything that'll,
It's all good. I'm with Chrissy Brown.
stain the carpets,
Yeah.
I need a background. On this thing. How about, there we go, a pirate. Or yeah, Fat Boy Rigs. There you go.
That's too Fat Boy Rigs.
Too much. You think? Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get started here in just a second. Let's see. Northern Views in the house. Burrito Catfish Lady. What's up, Lisa? Why in the world would you have that mean guy Chad on panel?
I had to pay him. I had to pay slip him a 20 just to get up here.
Oh, when do I get that?
Probably the same
time.
We'll
talk about Cash App here in a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably the same time Freddie and Brian get their paychecks from the bait shop.
What's up, 922? Clint, everyone needs bait. That's right.
That's right.
That's right. So, yeah, I was telling Chad that, came home frantically cleaning my boat because somebody's coming down to look at it. And now I smell like bleach and mildew and stain remover. So we're not going to be long tonight.
What you normally smell like. So.
So Bobcat. FD Fisherman's in the house. FOA Customs and Gear, said Kev and Chad. Shut it, Chad. All right, well, we're going to get cranked up. There's Verlina Smith, future champion of something, is here. Evening, everyone.
Are we having a small fish ward or something?
Uncle Don R. Boom, boom, boom. FOA giving us a motor member for 40 months. Thank you, Frederick.
He's a good guy.
And Nearner. All right, guys, we're going to get cranked up. So, because I'm really hungry. I've been doing this diet too, so I ain't ate nothing but almonds and cheese stick all day. Hooks, we will answer your question whenever we feel like it.
That's right.
Yeah, whenever we feel like it.
Keep these guys in line.
Yeah, you heard my dog shut up, didn't you? Yeah, somebody listens to me. All right, well, first of all, I just want to thank everybody who has already signed up. Here are the current teams we have, 1 through 21. Look at that list, Chad.
That's a really nice freaking list. I like it.
I mean, the colors are great. It's easy to read.
It is very legible. Everything almost looks spelled right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I did make some mistakes. People had to, correct me. But as you can see, everybody in the white has paid and registered. I still am waiting on some waivers. So you do have to sign a waiver, which is in the handbook. We'll go over that in a minute.
Yep.
If you're in the blue, that means you've registered and you just haven't paid your fee yet. Again, we're not money grabbers, but we're just trying to, take care of the finances for the league. So that is it. Look at this. I mean, we got some, not that everybody's not a great angler on here, but look, we got some legends on here. We got Donnie and Lonnie Fountain.
That's the one that did it for me. I was all ready to back out of hosting and join this because looking at last year's league, I was like, man, I could have won this hands down. But then Lonnie and Donnie stepped in.
Then nobody knows who Catting Around is, but that's Ray Ferguson. Yes, Ray has signed up.
I think I would have felt bad beating Ray, after the meal he cooked at CatCon, but I would have done it.
And you got just some teams that you may not recognize. Catfish Bill 66. Everybody knows my fishing buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Bank Boys. That is Mac. Mac has a partner on the bank. The Bank Boys. Yeah.
Dwight Palmer.
JG Hill's in it. He's getting better and better, and he's going to join it up.
That's great news.
Everybody knows our champions team. My bad, dude. RCT Stone. That is Rebel.
River Cat Tackle.
River Cat Tackle. Thank you. I was thinking Rebel River Cats because they're down there. River Cat Tackle Stone. That's Danny Stone. Team Bam is James from Kool Cats and Joe Jellison, guys.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Yeah, he's got a little tiny YouTube channel called Chat Cats.
Oh, that little guy.
Yeah. So he's going to teach James how to catch some fish. I mean, they're going to catch some big fish together. Team Fountain, of course, we talked about. Fishing Fever going under his own banner, Austin Short, instead of Team Amish, because Sean and Dustin from Team Snagging Whisters are going to make a team this year. TSW. SC Buckeyes, John Gordon, right here from my area. Catfish Cowboy, Dustin Winkles, and company. Catfish Cowboy and company, Dustin Winkles. You've seen them. Rigging for Fatties, everybody knows Chris Rombach. He's going to be on the boat with his buddy Chad.
Good deal.
Yeah, man. River Dog, that's Jerry Parker, Will Jett, and everybody remembers Cujo netting that fish for him last year. And what happened is Tony Harrison.
I love Tony.
What happened was. And then, hopefully they'll get registered by Sunday. Rebel River Cats, Doug Talley, Dustin Clark, Fishing Not Catching, Coop and Mike, and Northern View Dan and Eddie. Oh, sorry. I don't know what that is.
Message.
Probably my doctor. Oh, who's that? Whoa.
Woo, we got to warn it, brother, before you switch to a view like that. That just scared off.
What's up?
That scared off about everybody in the chat right there.
That was kind of.
Ladies and gentlemen.
B just walked in the door.
Squeeze me in.
Awesome. Well, hey, look, we got to recognize somebody. Clint Perry has gifted some people some Palmetto Cats memberships.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you, Clint.
Thank you, man. Thank you
those
so
bass fishermen ain't all bad. Clint's a good guy.
Catfish Bill's in the house. Member. Rubber River Cat member. He got gifted a membership on I think during the Golden Whiskers, maybe. Let's see. Uptown Chrissy Brown saying, hey. See, there's Dustin Clark. He said he'll have it to us tomorrow. There you go.
There you go.
Let's see. There's Miss Pontoon Jody. Smoky Mountain Catfishing gifted a membership. Get him out of here. He don't fish. Oh man. All right.
We gotta keep him in the running for something in Utah and Golden Whiskers.
Yeah, he's got to be.
That's about all he's got left.
Yeah. There's some great teams, guys. 21 teams, or 26 if everybody gets their money in. So that means you got one open one.
James has a question.
All right. Well, James, hold on to your question. Because we want to start. We want to get to the handbook. And I know we'll be here for 2 hours if we don't start doing it sequentially. So I appreciate it. Everybody, not just James. Hang on to your question, write it down or something, and we will answer it.
Come back.
Yes. All right. Next up is the sponsors. Got to thank them. So far, we have James, Cool Cats Fishing, FOA Customs and Gear, Creole's Guide Service, Catfish Clothing, Monster Rod Holders. It could be your logo here.
Or here.
Take down rod holders, Fracturefix, and Mad Cat sponsoring the big fish again. Thank you to our current sponsors. We might have Watt Cycle on for some money this year instead of batteries, so hang tight on that. Something that we need to go over, the official scale of the tournament is the Mad Cat scale, but we do have some other options if you've already bought a scale like that. So I'm gonna run down real quick the tournament series. You can find all this on Facebook. Here's the schedule, and that's what James was talking about. The King of the River, March 22nd. That's coming up in a few weeks. Fishathon in April, one per month, guys. Midnight Madness as Brian B's crazy overnight tournament that I couldn't stay awake for. I don't got a choice this year. The Chicken Challenge, everybody's favorite, the Iron Cat, Catfish Summer Slam, Keep It or Toss It, Monster Hunt, Whisker Cup, and the championship this year will be in December, which I know a lot of the Midwestern and Northern people are happy about. Moving on, do we want to go over the tournament formats first, or do we want to go over the handbook first?
Go over the handbook. Get that over with.
Get the boring stuff out the way.
I think there's a war starting out my front window here.
Uh-oh.
I just heard some automatic weapons going off.
Oof. All right. The purpose of the league has never changed to promote unity across the catfishing industry, advocating for the catch picture release method, providing anglers with the opportunity to compete nationally in catfishing without extensive travel, highlighting live online catfishing tournaments on platforms like YouTube and Facebook. And so after every section, we'll pause if you have any questions about what we've talked about, not what we haven't talked about. Hey, you keep it down in there. General guidelines: anglers must be visible on camera. Here's one that I had to change around. And if it's still not clear, we can clear it up. Anglers must be visible on camera from the moment the fish is hooked until it's successfully landed. If an angler is off screen due to a technical or host related issue, the fish may still be counted at the host's discretion, provided there is a reasonable confirmation that the fish was hooked legally and fairly. What does that mean, guys? Does that sound good? That means that the host, if they feel like there's no question that they had it hooked up and it was the host's fault, then they can say that a fish counter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be those moments with live fishing where things aren't just perfect. And no matter how big the fish, you don't want it to not count if the angler had no choice.
Yeah.
And so
sometimes I notice, even with, which is crazy to me, but I don't know. But even when they have a perfect picture, they go to move their camera real fast or whatever the case may be, then it gets like they don't have a good signal.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't want to punish somebody that was doing great. And then, unfortunately in the situation where I'm referring to, the host forgot to bring them back up. Or maybe you moved your camera, like Brian said, you started getting robotic. You had a good signal and you're trying to provide us with an angle. So we just want to make sure that it's fair on both sides. But there has been a case, not this past year, but the first year, where an angler just held up a fish, came up on the screen, had a fish in his hand. I was like, I can't count that. I didn't see you catch it. Did I think that the angler was lying? No, but there was no reasonable evidence. So if you guys have any questions, I think James said that was really clear, so that's good.
Yep.
One, only public waterways are permitted. Private waters, hatcheries, and baited holes are strictly prohibited. All public waterways must be legally accessible.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, stop me if I'm...
No, I'm on the one before that. I know it's not stated.
Mhm.
It's implied, but pay lakes are not listed per se. It needs to be listed. That is not something we're going to promote. Yeah.
There we go. Clear as a bell.
Yep.
Brandon's pond is not a public pond.
Right.
Now, if Brandon
There
invites
you go, Bob.
everybody,
It's open to the public though.
oh man, only if it has bluegill in it. Anglers must follow all state regulations regarding licensing, bait use, boat laws, and equipment. Violation of state laws results in immediate disqualification. So if the game warden comes up and says, "Hey, boy, you can't have 3 rods in," we got to disqualify you because you broke the law.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not searching for that stuff, so let's make that straight. I'm not going to sit there and analyze your screen, but you know someone in the league will, so make sure you follow them rules.
Yeah.
Liability. Oh my gosh, work is texting me. Liability insurance for boats must be covered for all passengers. Now, this was a question brought up, and I'm going to put this in there. If your state requires insurance, because I had a question earlier this week, said my state does not require insurance on boats. So
It's typical, like, just like the one before that. If it's your state's regulations, whether you're fishing from the bank, a boat, if it's required, if you are stopped by a DNR or a whatever, and you cannot pass their compliance test, that's an issue, right? That's you're
Right.
failing those two things.
Proof of boat insurance must be with the boat. Yeah. So again, if your state, I'll just copy this right here. This just protects you. This is always a good thing to have. Because you never know. Man, there's crazies out there.
Mm-hmm.
6 rod limit per team for all tournaments unless prohibited by state laws. So, Kevin, not sure if you are sharing the handbook, but we can't see it if you are.
Yeah, I see it. I see it on. I'm watching it over here as well.
She may not be, or he may not be caught up. Oh, see it now. Okay, great. Again, so if your state like mine, which you can fish with 2,500 rods, you're limited to 6. But if your state says only 2, then it is what it is. We can see it now. You can see it now. I don't wonder why you couldn't see it. Okay.
Oh no.
All right. Any questions under here, fellas, or chat? Seems like we're
Haven't seen nothing.
moving right along. Chat cat's in the house. Stonefly. All right. Equipment. This is mandatory stuff, guys. Like, we're gonna just have to be bad guys if we don't see this stuff. Mandatory use of a tripod or equivalent phone holder and muffling device. What does that mean? That means you can't set your phone on the ground and it having look up at your behind, or let's say what it should be. It should be there so that we can see you fight the fish. That's the entertaining part.
Mm-hmm.
So you
And
need
it
to have
gives
it
you
on a tripod, or you need to have it on a clamp, on your windshield, or on a cross member or something, to where you can move it around and show us that you're catching a fish. Again, you have to be on screen. So here's some recommended stuff. There's a tripod. There's a headset. If you don't want to use hair curlers, you have to use a 2-way headset. Hair curlers, basically you get a foam hair curler and you cut a slit in the bottom and cut a hole for your charger and put it on there, and it muffles the wind a little bit. The Mad Cat scale is the official scale of the league. And we didn't have any exceptions to that last year. And we got a little bit of pushback. We still want you to buy the Mad Cat scale if you don't have one, because they do give us $2,000. And a point was made. I think Chad probably made it, or somebody made it. Someone says, I don't like this company. I don't want to buy that thing. Well, if you win, are you going to accept that company's money? So that's something to ask for or think about. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't get into all the brand wars and this and that, but at the end of the day, all of these sponsors are just donating whatever amount of money to help this grow, to help you guys at the end of the day to have something to battle for, right? And we should appreciate that.
Right. And I know this scales, some people have a hard time locking it in, but we've done the routine where you tear it out, you hit the tear button, and we'll accept that as well. I've never had a problem with mine, but I don't fish as much as some of you guys.
Be mindful, and I've learned this. It's funny that I learned it because my skill wasn't locking when I was beating up on Chad on the 1v1. But my batteries, I guess, were kind of old. I changed batteries. I had new batteries on the boat, changed batteries, and bam, locked in. So keep a fresh pack of batteries and some head curlers on your boat or in your tackle bag. That way, if you run into that situation,
right,
you know you're good to go.
Yeah, and like I said, I have not had a problem with mine, but I've seen people have problems with it. I don't doubt that it does happen. But we do. The only reason we want people to have the similar scales because it standardizes something.
Right.
And we need a standard scale. So these other two scales, if you have them, the Bass Pro Cat Max scale. Oh, I spelled scale wrong. See there?
I didn't get to audit this page.
Well, you've had it for a long time, buddy. Or the Rig Wrap Super Scale. If you have those two, they're the same exact one. Or I meant to bring it in. I have a scale. What'd you do, Brian? It's all right. I used to. Amazon used to sell the same one, and so I have it. Doesn't even have a brand on it. So if you have one that's similar to this, and you want us to approve it, just send us a message with the picture of the scale. Chad knows what I'm talking about. Brian knows what I'm talking about. As long as it looks like the Geiger thing from Ghostbusters. You know what I'm talking about? What is that thing called? Spectrometer or whatever.
Yeah. The spectrometer.
But here, someone's going to say the scale is off. Well, that's why we're standardizing them. But are there going to be issues? Is some going to say the scales off? He might be talking to somebody else.
No, I think he's just asking because there are three different brands. So if you go and look at these they're basically they are the same scale.
They are the same.
They're branded differently with the the people's logos.
Yeah. Some people may say this is the best scale ever. Well, it's the same as the other one, so that one's the best scale too. Again, at the end of the day, this is something I don't want to spend too much time on, but we'd like you to support Mad Cats by buying that scale. They have a code for us, League 10. You can save 10% on it. Dave is a personal friend of mine. He's the sorry, Lynn. I appreciate the question. He's a personal friend of mine, and he runs the social media and sales for Mad Cats. He said if anybody ever has a problem with the scale, just call him and he'll send them a brand new one. Like, he's not playing around because we sold him out of scales last year.
Well, I'm going to call. I need that number because I'm going to call him because mine is not weighing big enough fish.
There you go.
It's got to be the scale's fault.
But that is a guarantee that they do stand behind it, even though it's not their fault, really. You get a bad one when you do that. But anyway, if you have one of the other ones, you can, but it is a requirement that you have that brand of scale or that model of scale. All right, here's some changes for this year. Team composition. Teams may have an unlimited number of members, but must designate both a captain and a co-captain if needed. Let me put if needed. If needed. And I'll explain that. At least one of these individuals must be present for the team to earn points during a tournament. So, for instance, if I'm the captain of Palmetto Cats and I want Chad to fish, as Chad's my fishing partner, and I get sick, in the past, Chad couldn't fish and get points. But now, because we've had so many requests, I'll make Chad a co-captain. He pays his $50, and if I get sick, Chad can still fish for our team and get points. But you can only designate one person for a co-captain. You can't have 5 co-captains.
Right.
So one of them need to be present. If you fish by yourself, like Tony Harrison or Danny, and you just don't have nobody else, then you're the captain. That's it. It's not required. Co-captain eligibility. The co-captain must be identified before the start of the season or prior to the team's participation in their first tournament. Captains and co-captains are restricted from joining and participating in other teams. So unlike, let's say that Chad gets fed up with me and wants to go join Danny's team. Well, he's already a registered co-captain on my team, so he can't join any other team for the rest of the year.
So pick your co-captain.
Yeah, pick your co-captains wisely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Danny said,
Yeah, can we add a team member later into the tournament?
yeah, as long as it's before their first tournament. No, I see what he's saying. Let me see. Start of the season. Co-captain must be identified before the start of the season or prior to the. Let's see. I can change that because this makes sense. Co-captain's first participation in their first tournament. Does that make sense, Chad?
Identify before the start of the season or prior to the co-captain's participation in their first tournament. Yes.
Okay.
Captains are restricted from joining or participating with other teams. Yes.
Okay. Matt said so. If Chad donates $2K and says we want everyone to wear a boo-boo, then they have to wear. They have to.
That's the fishing outfit of choice from Fields to Water.
You have to go back. I can put up sponsors later. All right. Team members. So other team members may participate with multiple teams, provided they are registered and paid anglers for each tournament. So as long as you paid your $25, that's your crew. Then you can fish with other teams. But I mean, that's kind of, it's up to you what you want to do with that. Licensed guides. Licensed guides are allowed to join and fish as a part of a team. However, they cannot accept payment for guiding the team. Guides must also register and pay as anglers for each tournament they participate in. So, for instance, Creole called me earlier this week or last week and asked me about it. He said, "Can I fish with guys if they come down?" I said, if you're a paid member of their team, then yes. And if you don't charge them to guide, then yes.
Right.
Because we want guys to participate too. Just because you make money on your fishing career, doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to participate. And if anybody really wants to test how good they are, they won't care if you're a guide or not, because they can catch fish just as good as guys, right?
Yeah, I could outfish 99% of them, so I wouldn't be scared.
Right. Now, Creole also, I'm just using Creole because he called me. Now, Creole and Andrew form their own team, then they can't fish with anybody else.
Right.
Because they'll be captain and co-captain. And so they had mentioned maybe fishing one or two out of the league, and you can do that. You don't have to be a member of the league to do that, but you just have to pay per tournament, and you don't get any points. So if they create that team, and there has to be a space because we only have 27 slots. So if you just want to fish a random tournament just because you got that weekend off and somebody backs out, or we don't end up filling all 27, if you get your payment in, then you can fish that tournament in that slot. So that ensures two things. One, we try to fill up all of our seats, and two, that people will get to fish, that can't do the whole league. All right. All right, cool. Minors, anglers under the age of 18 must be accompanied by an adult, and at all times. So, okay, moving on. Safety contact life vests are recommended when underway. It's totally your captain's call. Good sportsmanship is expected. Any behavior causing disruption may lead to disqualification. No alcoholic beverages, illegal substances, or foul language are allowed. Let's see. During the tournaments, non-compliance will result in warnings or disqualification. I don't think we need to go into I'll give you one or two, or this is your third warning. Let's just not do it.
Yeah.
Due to possible inclement weather, all teams' captains must decide for themselves and their fellow team members if it's safe to launch or proceed. The Live Fishing Tournament League will proceed with the event, but reserves the right to disqualify a team if the tournament director deems a team unsafe. And that's why we're having you guys sign these waivers. You know, if you decide to go out and it's 5-foot swells or whatever, and you get hurt, we're going to disqualify you, number one, but we don't want you saying that we made you go out there.
Right. We don't ever want anybody to take, their safety over something like fishing.
Right. Exactly.
Be smart.
Yeah. Maintain a 50-yard distance between boats when anchored and 50 feet when drifting. Anglers may not violate this rule in order to, here's the update. Anglers may not violate this rule in order to access a fishing spot without verbal permission from the anchored angler. Verbal permission must be given on camera by the anchored angler. So we had a situation where an angler may or may not have come within 50 yards. So, if they're just coming, they want to get by to go in a creek and you got your lines out. If they say, hey, can I pass? You can turn around and say, hey, Kev, Chad, Brian, we're cool. They're going to pass us. Then no big deal. But if you cut across them and cut across their lines and everything, you'll be disqualified.
Hey, Kevin, can we back up just one thing here?
Sure.
And because I joke about a lot of stuff, but even further back than that, talking about the life vest, watching what we're doing again, even the language, and I'm guilty of the language at times. I admit this, but
me too.
We have an audience that, and I try to think back to things that people have said, come to me or come to friends, that we not only have people like that are in chat right now watching, but we have children watching and stuff like that, right? The example that we're setting for them, one, talking about the profanity, but two, if we're going up and down a river, are we being safe in a safe manner and showing them the proper way of what we're doing, right? And not being, unsafe where somebody could get hurt. We don't want that. And we don't want kids to especially to be able to see that sort of thing.
Right, we're role models, whether we want to be or not.
Yeah, we don't think about it at times. I know I certainly don't at times when I get a little rowdy and say things I probably shouldn't, but we really probably do need to think about that a little bit more.
Yeah, we all fall short. We just it's how we manage it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if you're being friendly and, Brian B wants to cut in front of me to get further down the river and I got it cut off. Yeah, it's cool. Let him go. Then, won't be disqualified. Fishing methods. Only rod and reel methods are allowed. Snagging and chumming are prohibited. No foul hook fish, and that's hooks behind the gill plate, will be accepted. Bank fishing, kayak fishing, and boat fishing are all acceptable modes for the league. Okay. Live streams. I hear you, Stonefly. I just can't make a rule. I can't make a rule that, I can, I guess. I don't want to make a rule that the state doesn't require itself.
Yeah, if your state requires it, like if you're fishing in Alabama, you have to have your lanyard attached to yourself, your body, and stuff like that. That needs to be followed.
Yeah, you need to follow every law, but I can't. I don't want to enforce a law that doesn't already exist because I'm infringing on people's rights, and that's not. I don't believe in that. But yeah, I do agree. Especially if you got a, big horsepower engine, and you're going, like Chad, 80 miles an hour down the river,
only 50,
beer flowing in his face, and you need to have a life jacket.
Did you say beard or beer?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So this live streaming, we clarified this here. Anglers may only stream directly to the tournament host. Whoa, what is all that?
I was gonna say, what was that?
That didn't go as well as I thought it would.
Brian B. I appreciate you trying to help, man.
Oh, Lord. I'm deleting it.
Okay. Like, are we getting spam right now?
Yes.
Spammed himself. Oh.
Oh man, give somebody control. Look what happens. No, I'm just kidding. All right, anglers may only stream directly to the tournament hosts. Only stream, maybe only stream. Only capital letters. Only. That means here we go. Anglers cannot participate in another tournament or live stream on another device. So I know we're trying to make money, some of us on YouTube and TikTok and everything, but let's focus on the LFTL when we're fishing the LFTL. It's basic because it all goes back to like that banter between anglers and hosts, and we want to make it entertaining. We want it to grow. So all tournaments are family friendly. Inappropriate content will result in disqualification. That's a restatement, but I'll leave it in. Each team is limited to one active streaming device. Here, so this is a crazy rule that I had to put in, but I had a question. Each team is limited to one active streaming device for the duration of the tournament. All team members must fish from the same location as the team captain and must remain within the view of the designated streaming device. Teams are prohibited from splitting up to fish from multiple locations or using different fishing modes. For example, a team may not fish simultaneously from a boat and a kayak and the bank, or the bank and a boat. Bank angler teams must remain within 20 yards of their designated streaming device at all times. If people argue 20 yards, I'm willing to extend that a little bit. But Brian, as a former angler, he said 20 wasn't too bad. But this is I had the question, but since I have, team members, can one of us fish from the kayak and one of us fish from the boat? So that should clarify all that. Yes, I did have the question.
Come on.
I'm waiting on the comments for this one. No comments? All right, let's go. But no, that's pretty common sense, but I just wanted to put it in there since I had the question. Fish handling. Use fish grippers, gloves, or slings for weighing large fish. I know a guy that sells a sling. It's pretty good. Fish must be released back into the water safely. Hey, Ronnie. Dropping fish during weighing or measuring is discouraged. So basically, we're just telling you to be careful. Treat the fish with respect. Again, like, we want to make sure that people watching us will say that we do what we preach. And, it goes back to our purposes: catch, picture, release. We want to keep the fish alive and healthy. All right, so we've redone this protest thing. Let's see if it makes sense to everybody. Everybody listen up. All protests must be, and this is something that needs to be that needed to happen. We didn't think we'd have any issues, and I'm kind of glad now. And you can say it now after it's all over that it happened, because we have clarity.
Open the eyes to an error.
That's right, and we have clarity, and we're growing from it. And it's not meant to demean or point anybody out, but it happened, and we're better for it now. All protests must be submitted in writing within 12 hours of the tournament's conclusion. For example, if a tournament ends at 3 p.m., the protest must be submitted no later than 3 a.m. the following calendar day. Once a protest is received within the designated time frame, it will be made public, and the tournament directors will acknowledge its submission. The tournament directors will thoroughly review the protest and render a final decision within 48 hours of the submission time. The decision made by the tournament directors is final. No further discussion or appeals will be permitted by the LFTL, the protester, or the protestee following the ruling. Poke holes in it. Make it the best.
It's no holes. I mean, it is what it is.
So if the tournament ends at 1 a.m., which we have several that do, then by 1 p.m. you can submit your protest. Mm-hmm. And if we don't see it by 1 p.m., that doesn't mean it's not valid.
Right.
You just got to get it in like time stamped before that.
Yep.
do your homework. If you feel as though it's something, document it in your phone note so you can go back and whatever. And when you get to the doc, hey, send an email. Or when you get home, send an email. Hey, this, that, this, I seen this. I don't think that's right.
Yep.
And when you say public, Kevin, it will be public to us.
No, I mean like the designated, the protest, like the fact that a protest has happened will be made public.
Yeah.
So like we'll make it, put it on Facebook. Hey, there's a protest to the tournament. We're investigating. We'll get back to you about the final stuff.
Right.
But we're not going to say, Chad made a protest. We want to make sure that Chad gets, his protest listened to. But when we make the final decision, if it's necessary, we will say, Chad made this protest.
Right.
We found that it wasn't valid, and so we're moving on.
Yeah,
or so forth. So,
but I think one key note in this for everybody that's watching that's in it, it needs to be in writing, not somebody call or anything like that, and do that route. It needs to be in writing.
Yeah, an email.
Again,
email's the best
for transparency. Yes.
Right. I mean, text message if you can't email, but I'd rather be email. That's official.
Yeah.
I have a question of prior rule. Can we film for content? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Film all you want. Good question, Danny.
Yeah, the biggest thing is not talking to our audience on the tournament and then trying to and it's talking over everybody.
Yeah, we don't want you to stream to YouTube while you're doing the tournament. And say, "Oh, I'm on this tournament on the other phone." That splits our audience, and it doesn't do any of us any good.
Yeah,
Mike Lockhart and okay, cool. Let's see. I protest Daryl. He talks too much. He does do that. Cool. Let's move on. Seems like everybody.
We are definitely, when it comes to the protest, we definitely would appreciate what you protest. At least give us an area where we're
trying
to look at the whole live.
Yeah,
good. We want to see what area you're talking about. Like the 1 hour
timestamp would be great.
Yes,
timestamp would be awesome. Yes,
timestamp would be great, and the rule that what happens is you can't get a scale lock. We mentioned that you can do the tear method.
Hit the tear button.
Yeah, the tear, but we'll accept that.
And it'll lock in at that weight.
And we can do it several times.
Negative, but that's
we want to give you the most weight possible. So if it takes a few times, we'll work it out. We've done that last year. Boom, boom, boom. Appreciation for each one of you and your efforts making it a fun, fair, and safe event. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Laura.
And you covered Brian up, so I'm just going to leave it right there.
That.
Yeah. The LFTL reserves the right to modify or update any rule as necessary to ensure participant or safety or to address other critical considerations. So that doesn't mean that we can change the rule mid-tournament. Okay, that means that before the next tournament, if we see something that needs to be updated, we're going to update it. And again, we'll make that public. We'll post it on the Facebook. All right, here's the point system. It's the same as last year, guys, except I have went through this score sheet several times, and it is correct. And Chad confirmed it. Correct, Chad?
As long as Kevin hasn't touched it since I looked at it, it is still correct.
Hey, look, I fixed it. I'm proud of myself.
I was proud of you too.
I excelled at Excel this time. But so 200 points for first place, 199 for second, and it continues incrementally. No fish is 100 points. So if you fish most of the can I get fish shizzle at? Let me time his little bug out for a second. Yeah, there you go, buddy. I know he's a member of the channel, but oh, Brandon.
Fish shizzle.
Disqualification 0 points. So 100 points. If you fish the majority of the tournament, we're not trying to take no points away from nobody. Some people had to go early. The only reason we wouldn't give you 100 points is if you never got a signal, you never really fished it, we never watched.
You couldn't get an hour out of you and see that you ain't trying.
Right.
No.
Right. If you just can't get it, then better luck next time. Anglers can participate in up to 9 tournaments. the top 7 finishes plus the championship tournament will determine the overall winner. So there are 9 preliminary tournaments. Your top 7 scores will count. So if you fish all 9, we're only going to count your top 7.
Yep.
The top 10 teams from the first 9 tournaments will advance to the championship. The 2025 points champion will be determined based on each team's best 7 finishes during the regular season, combined with their performance in the championship tournament. The championship results will serve as the 8th and final score, with a maximum of 200 additional points available. In the event of a tie in the championship standings, the winner will be decided by the weight of the largest fish caught during the championship. Everybody good?
Looks like it.
Looks like I timed out Jody's knight in shining armor. I'm sorry, Jody. He deserved it, though. He deserved it. He really did. And I love for shizzle, but sometimes I'm just kidding. Tournament fees. Somebody was asking, does it cost to join the league this year? Yes. Oh, you fixed your car. Okay, cool. Well, good on you, Fish Shizzle. Team membership and tournament fees are designated to offset the costs associated with streaming software for event hosts and to fund the purchase of end-of-the-year awards. Tournament fees can be paid to Cash App at Palmetto Cats. So those of you who are asking, open up your Cash App at Palmetto Cats. We are using Cash App so that the hosts and anglers can transfer funds without depositing into somebody's bank. And I have a savings on Cash App. I just have everything in there. Membership fees, Captain, is $100 for the whole year, not per tournament. Listen closely. It's $100 for the whole year, all 10 tournaments.
For the year. $10 a tournament.
Yep, $10 a tournament. Co-captain, $50 for the whole year.
$5 a tournament.
Whole season, which is the whole year. Additional,
I'm not doing that, man.
$25 for the whole year. So if you have
$2.50 something.
$2.50.
You guys math good. Membership includes eligibility to fish in all LFTL tournaments throughout the year, a league sticker, which I've already mailed those out to people who've paid, inclusion in the year-end points race. Fees must be paid 1 week before the first tournament. That's different. We can talk about. I've told some people that I would work with them. They want to fish. They're just waiting on that check. So I'll work with them. We ain't trying to get nobody out that don't have it right this second. All fees must be paid via Cash App, even though I have succumbed to the PayPal one time and cash in hand at Catfish Conference, but they all made it into the Cash App eventually. Danny Stone said he got his sticker today. They're nice. Yeah, they're real nice. They're the sticker mule. Non-members. So this is if you don't fish, if you don't do the whole league. You just want to fish one tournament. The captain is $25 and each additional member is $10. So if, like I said, Creole and Andrew said they might want to fish one, then it's $35 for them two to fish. Non-members are not eligible for the year and points race, and registration must be paid a week in advance of the tournament. Junior and youth anglers under the age of 18 will be free with a paying captain. Sponsorship opportunities. Oh, let me stop. Go ahead and ask your question.
I'm about to say, can he ask this question?
Please.
Gonna have a conniption.
Danny Stone has a question. He had a question above.
What is your question, Danny? Danny. Is there a minimum distance between boats? If so, I want a distance between me and Parker on the bank. He distracts me. Don't
50
ask
yards or 50 feet.
We already spoke about that, Danny. 20 feet for the bank.
How'd you get so good looking?
50.
I don't know. I guess because you're standing by telly most of the time.
How did I guess? I know.
My bad, dude. I guess his 5 minutes is up. Love you, Brandon. Time out for that question. All right. Sponsorship opportunities. Again, thank you. Somebody asked about this earlier. Mad Cat's sponsoring $2,000 for the biggest fish of the year. They're a platinum sponsor, includes a 1-minute commercial. $1,000 sponsors are gold sponsors. That's Kool Cats, FOA, Fracturefix, and Takedown Rod Holders. So they get a 30-second commercial. Silver sponsors are 500 plus. So that is Monster Rod Holders. And then bronze sponsors 100 to 400. And that is Creole, Catfish. And that's it for now. So if you want to sponsor, you don't have to have a business. But if you just want to sponsor like some trophies and stuff, actually we probably already got the trophies paid for. So probably any sponsor we take after this will go directly towards the prize, the cash pile. Okay, you want me to let you know now?
No, later's fine.
Okay.
It's already 7:54, so.
Yep. And so there's the sponsors, guys. Check out the details in the Live Fishing Tournament League Facebook page. Here is the waiver. You guys need to print this out, sign it. You can take a picture of it, send it back to me. But this, you can read it. That's also in the handbook. Also in the handbook is, and on the Facebook, is how each tournament will be scored. I'll go through real quick. It's not too hard.
You're fine.
King of the River, 5 catfish bag. So you want the biggest 5 catfish you can catch. Angler must fish a river. If it says river behind it, then you can fish it. Does that sound like a good plan? So if you fish the Tennessee River,
with that
I know
being said,
this is actually, you know what? I need you to email Daryl or contact Daryl if you want to figure out if your body of water qualifies.
Yeah.
There we go. This is Daryl's tournament, King of the River. It can be any river. If Daryl tells me it qualifies, then you're good to go. Bam. Less work for us.
James wanted to know if he could fish that. Okay, you're right.
Again, yeah. That's the thing. Like when you're looking at somewhere like the Tennessee River where they call them lakes, it is still the Tennessee River. Like Wilson Lake, you know.
Because then you'd have to separate the Ohio into lakes too.
It's still the Tennessee River chain or whatever chain. They call them lakes because they're dammed up, but that's the only difference.
Yeah. There you go. Fishathon is April 19th. It's again a big fish tournament. These two are just big fish tournament because it's classic and it's that time of season where people can catch big fish.
Yeah.
So again, tiebreakers, biggest fish on most of these. Midnight Madness, 10 fish bag. So those of you worried about, I can't catch big fish, you can stack them up. Here's the point system. 1 pound to 9.99 is 5 points and up. So you can get 50 points for a 50 pounder. So those of you who say, I just catch big fish, well, there you go. You can win it, catch a bunch of big fish.
It looks like a Brian B tournament only.
No, Daryl's sending me the rules for the river. No, contact Daryl for the rules to the river. Daryl only. Okay. Keep on going. Chicken challenge, same points thing, but you can only use chicken. You can flavor your chicken, right? Flavoring chicken's fine. Iron Cat, walk the plank. This is the last angler standing. I thought about putting a twist in it. Like if you actually walk the plank and like jump in the water, then you can come back into the tournament. But I don't know. That's not skill based. But basically, you have to have a 2 pound fish minimum on your catch, and the rounds go from 7 to 11, 11 to 1, 1 to 2, and then you have sudden death after that. You can read on your own, guys. Catfish Summer Slam, August 9th. This will be 1 channel catfish, 1 flathead, 1 blue. You can weigh up to 2 catfish per species if you don't catch all 3. But the tiebreakers You get a bonus for catching all 3. I'm just running through this real quick. You can get a tiebreaker for catching all 3. And if it comes down to a tiebreaker, then the person who caught all 3 species would go ahead. You can read that on your own, guys. Keep it or toss it. 5 catfish, but you cannot cull them. You must weigh them. You must say you're keeping it before you weigh it. Monster Hunt's the easiest one. 1 catfish, biggest one wins. Whisker Cup is based on strokes. So it's a point system. And then the Live Fishing Tournament League Championship is the point system again. That's it on that. Guys, I know you got a show to get to. I appreciate you. If you guys want to go ahead and go.
Yeah, we must get over to my talk show of the year.
Hang on. Ba-bam!
Anybody's interested, you can come over to Fields to Water YouTube channel and check us out tonight at 8 p.m. Live talk show.
8:15.
Now it's 8:15.
Go check out
It's 8:15 now. It's 8:15 now because somebody's holding us up. Now I know how Snagging Light Lives feels.
Yeah, so we can go. What we can do is go over there and get our people in order because they've been cutting up in chat. So
yeah, I see that.
Get over there and get them in order, and
And I want to say a big shout out to this guy right here. I mean, he is the community servant of the year, but he created our logo, guys, right up here.
He's a pretty nice guy.
Top right. That's a pretty sweet logo, and the stickers look great. John, I'm going to send you a sticker, a couple of them. So thank you, John. You don't get thanked enough. If you want to have a person just fish one tournament with you, does he have to pay $10 before? Let's pay $25 if you're fishing on a league team. So the other one is for your team gets points, Daryl. And that's a great question, actually. Your team does get points. So anybody that fishes with you, even if it's one time, has to pay the $25. All right. Big shot. Pre-show. Best show of the night. Snagging Night Live. Ooh, man. Well, anyway, guys, if you want to sign up, there are limited spots. Again, my PayPal money sign Palmetto Cats. And it's also on the Facebook page.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for an awesome show. Thank you for this league that we get to do and have fun. And we just ask you to bless it and bless everybody in it. Bless the bait shop show that's about to come up, Lord. We thank you for all you do for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 All right, guys. Till next time. Happy fishing.
See you guys.